What up, people? I am a silhouette. Happy Halloween, y'all. I'm standing here at this quarry. Used to be a missile silo, from what I've heard. It's a deep fucking hole down there, and it just filled in with water. After it was out of use, I suppose. But, speaking of deep, dark, treacherous holes, let's talk about making money. Now, I'm not a huge fan of capitalism at all. I think it has more flaws than it has benefits, and I do think eventually it needs to be done away with. I think ideally it should be fucking done away with today, but I'm not here to talk about how I think it promotes inequality and through wage slavery and other shit like that. I'm starting this video with the premise of someone who has come to terms with his capitalistic environment. You know, are you one of those people who doesn't give a fuck about money? Because I used to be one of those people who doesn't give a fuck about money, who's like, fuck money. I used to be really into Henry David Thoreau. I really enjoyed reading the book Walden. And for those of you who don't know, Henry David Thoreau is kind of famous for being a transcendental philosopher who went out in Walden Pond, kind of isolated from everyone. Which if you go there now, it's not at all. His house is literally like a 5-minute walk away from like a highway. But he lived out there for 2 years pretty much by himself. Didn't really make any money, just grew beans, wrote his book, bathed in the pond, which is pretty fucking badass because, you know, this is New England and it gets cold as fuck. But he lived in his little hut. Now Henry David Thoreau is an example of someone who truly does not give a fuck. But there are a lot of us today, particularly when it comes to capitalism and making money, who claim to not give a fuck. But out of everyone in this capitalistic system, they become victims of their own mentality because they claim to not give a fuck. But oftentimes they're poor. They don't really care to make any money. And so, since they haven't found a viable alternative to playing the capitalistic game, they basically just do a shitty job of it and claim apathy, which really they don't care about making money. Really they don't care about playing the game, and I know because I was one of them, and I've only recently started to play the money-making game. And so I hope to make enough money to the point where I can truly not give a fuck about money. If I have enough to supply my necessities, to buy food, to buy the clothes I want to wear, to buy the equipment for my art that I like to make, and then also have a little extra at the end of the day so that, you know, I can do enjoyable things, travel, go out for a night on the town, and what have you. Then that's right where I want to be. You know, now the dream is to get there by doing things which also make you not think about money. In other words, if you're doing something and the only reason you're doing it is for money, then that sort of is conducive to the mindset of, alright, I just need to get this money, fuck this thing I'm doing all day. You know, it's understandable. People have to do that from time to time. Or some have to do it their entire lives. But I don't like that word have to do. Because we do have choices. We have many choices. It's how we use our limitations as creative platforms. The reason I'm bringing this all up is because I did a musical, or I'm actually doing a musical, The Addams Family. 'Tis the season, you know. And this weekend was the first weekend. It's 8 shows in total. I've done 4. I have 4 next weekend. And I ain't getting paid a fucking pittance. Now, I say that kind of harshly. Don't think I'm butthurt or anything, because I'm not. I knew I was getting paid this much, and I didn't really care, because I did it because I want to get good at sight reading, and I want the experience of playing in another musical, because I haven't done one for a number of years. But I will not be doing one again for this price. And this is where you gotta set up boundaries for yourself, because I did out the math, and I'm getting paid less than minimum wage, well into minimum wage. So the lady who hired me to do this one has already asked me to do another one in December. So I really do want to say yes, because I want to keep getting better at this sort of thing. But, you know, you do have to have boundaries to the point where you got to be able to play this capitalistic game if you really want to not give a fuck about it. You know, you got to beat the game in order to not give a fuck about it. So I'm not going to do that by making $5 an hour. And I understand I'm getting hired by this local community theater, so they don't have, or I assume they don't have, a whole lot of extra money, but still, you know, that doesn't justify me selling myself short. So I'm still figuring out how to play this capitalistic game. I guess my main point in this video is, don't pretend to not give a fuck about it, and then the lack of money in your life is fucking ruining it. I used to kind of really entertain myself with the illusion of saying, alright, fuck money, I don't need money, I'm going to be homeless and play music on the street, and I'll make just barely enough to buy food, and some days I won't. I'll even go without food, but it'll be a joy because I'll be doing what I love. And I was always half jesting when I was saying that, but, you know, I was also half serious, and now I'm just like, fuck that, stupid. That is stupid. So, you gotta play it smart, right? I'm trying to play it smart by A, sticking to what I love to do, not compromising while I don't have to, while I still have the support. And B, knowing what I am worth. Peace out, everyone. Happy Halloween.